Hey guys, welcome back again. This is JPS Trading with episode 30 of Trading to a Million. I hope you enjoyed my previous video. I did a little bit of a trade recap. Let me know what you guys thought. Now, going into this video, you can actually see the balance at the top has changed since last video. So I'm actually going into this video with a loss. Now, to my own detriment, I didn't learn from my mistake the day before and actually decided to place a trade before the US market closed, which obviously inevitably perfectly ended in a loss, which was great. Look, but at the end of the day, obviously coming into work, then I realized it's like, look, that's probably not the way to go at all. So I had a small long position here, and which we got to about 7:30, and then the futures actually started to move quite aggressively, and I was worried that they were going to move to the upside, as we see that we're making higher highs here on the chart there. So I was anticipating that I was probably going to capture this. So this was fitting my strategy perfectly, which was fine. The main goal here was just not to get discouraged by the loss that happened earlier in the day. So put on a trade. Obviously, I was confident in my position. It fitted my metrics. I was happy to risk obviously the amount that I was. If this was obviously going to move into my favor quite aggressively, quite quickly, I was probably going to cover real early too, just to obviously protect myself from any further downside risk. But look, this had a good start obviously from there. So we had some real bullish candles early on, just about 9 a.m. here as well. So this is obviously in daylight savings time when we have our first volatility spike that we're seeing here. And look, market's treading water. It's hovering fine. Could have got in a little bit earlier, obviously ideal. But look, I've just sped this up a little bit just because it was a little bit boring before market open. So 9 a.m. is proven to be quite volatile. Look, it's moving to the upside and the downside. I'm obviously just watching the ranges here on the US futures, just making sure it's not making lower lows hypothetically, which isn't obviously the best thing to see when you've got a long position. But look, this trade was hovering reasonably well. So we've only got about 30 minutes before the actual ASX futures open. So, you know, to get about this amount of volatility before the actual domestic markets or the domestic futures open, I saw this as a pretty good sign. But for sure, going into this trade, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous. Obviously, with the early mistake that I made, obviously taking on a decent amount of risk as well in terms of this. But the trade was there, and you know that earlier trade that occurred probably shouldn't have happened. But look, obviously, this moving forward a little bit, we had a really nice high that made there, and then obviously you can see a consolidation, and now we're getting really close to market open and seeing these lows that it made really tested my you could say my will to hold on to this trade. I was really worried. And look, obviously seeing that initially, that was not what I wanted to see. But look, I could see the domestic futures were opening up a little bit more to the upside, which is good, which looked completely different to what I was seeing on my chart. So obviously that's the ASX futures. Obviously, because this was closed from about 7 a.m., this is where the differential is coming in. But look, obviously it had a little gap it down to shake out a few people and then really started ramping up to the upside. So that was fine. Obviously, I had a level there that I was pretty happy to obviously take a profit if it was going to go through that. So basically, I just put the stop loss up there and just covered myself roughly at about break even, I believe it was. So I just wanted to let this run and look if it was going to come and retest those levels. I was happy to get out or just let it keep moving. If this was going to, you know, happily get up to 6100, which, you know, I was really hoping that it would, this was going to prove to be a pretty good trade in terms of that. So we're getting up there now, pretty close. I'm decided just to move the position up gradually. Obviously let it, not give it too much room to come back down. And if it is going to come back and retest, I'll be looking just to get out of this, obviously with that. So yeah, I'll let this trade play out. Obviously, let me know what you guys thinking of the series as well. Let me know if you do have any questions, obviously in the comment section. Any feedback you want to give me, obviously it's all much appreciated. really appreciate everyone that's subscribing in terms of that. I know that this week, well, this week that you're seeing, there's been quite a few losing trades here, and look, this happens, and I can say confidently that a couple of the days probably shouldn't have been losses. A little bit of human error was obviously to blame there, but look, something that I hope you guys can learn as well from this is, look, if you're looking at doing trading yourself and everything like that, the best advice I can give you is keep your risk low. Um, Even when you do lose, obviously keep it low, something that you can deal with, so you don't get stuck. But yeah, that was it for the video, guys. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.